Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for 14 days for today's second video. Day 10 will take us to the 7th of March, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the excellent GFS and CET Ensembles. Maybe we'll try in a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video in the next 4 weeks, and that gets us well into the second half of March. I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that first video release date was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. Please check out all of David's and content. Thanks so much everybody for doing that. I've had Big T out today, upgrading the router and whatnot here in the towers. It all seems to have gone all right, so I'm connected as you can see. Hopefully we'll have a nice stable connection, especially when we're doing live streams. So it might be hard to about phone, isn't it, when you when you upgrade and whatnot. Anyway, things have gone well, so that's something. Right, I'm so sorry, but I'm off on a tangent. Let's classic Gav. Let's crack on then. So you can start by having a look at the temperature at 10 HPA, what's going on with all the latest stratospheric developments. So this from a JMA, the black line shows where we've been, where we currently are with the temperature at 10 HPA versus the grey line, which is average. So repeated warmings of the stratosphere throughout the season, really. The biggest warming so far happened in early January. Couple of colder intrudes just here at the beginning of February, and again right at the end of December, just there. But overall, been very, very strange season with these constant repeated warmings. We're currently just here. We're actually lowering the temperature at 10 HPA a little bit, but still significantly above average. We should be about there, about minus 55. We're currently close to minus 40. Go a little bit low down to 30 HPA, closer to the troposphere. There you see we are quite considerably above average as well. We are hovering around minus 50. At this point, at the end of February, we should be around minus 65, something like that. So we're above average at both levels of the stratosphere. And further warmings are on the way. This is the latest GFS forecast, 10 HPA over the stratosphere of the North Pole. The blue colours here are the cold temperature polar vortex at its roots in the strat. So as we run through, we see we get another warming occurring over Russia and Siberia. That also pushing into the pole. Further displacement event, polar vortex, the blue colours again being squashed out into North America, North Atlantic, northern parts of Europe, as we've seen so often throughout this winter. And this is the warming, I think, into early March that will send the solar wind into reverse finally, and that will be classified as a major southern stratospheric warming. The CB GFS is still at it as we get through to the 12th of March. Another really quite significant warming of the stratosphere going over Russia this time. Though such a strange season. Sometimes you don't get any notable warmings of the stratosphere. Some winters from beginning to end, you just get your final warming sometime in the spring, and that is all you will get. This winter has had warming after warming after warming after warming after warming, and still going on up to the 13th of March there as well. Really, really odd and bizarre season for the stratosphere. But what is even more interesting is that despite all of the warmings, it's had very little effect on the troposphere, and was just kept, it's been a very mild winter. We kept low pressure coming from the Atlantic along with polar vortex as well. You will think that at some point all of these warmings are going to have an effect, and you will think we'll get some blocking, some northern blocking at some point. Let's hope that that doesn't happen, late in the spring and into the summer. But anyway, we shall keep you posted. This is how the solar wind forecast is currently looking. So literal weather is cool, of course, at the moment. Solar wind is there. So under the black line, still weaker than average. GFS ensembles, they're virtually all going for reversal as solar winds through the first week or so of March. Some going down to near record-breaking week levels. This tells us about the warming that's occurring in the stratosphere there over the North Pole in the beginning of March, in the first week of March, is the one that's likely to be the significant sudden stratospheric warming event of this season. It's not only the GFS that's going for this, also the ECM is as well. So this is from University of Berlin, based on last night's ECM 12Z run. 10 HPA forecast for the North Pole and whatnot for the 3rd of March. You see the solar wind is still just about positive then at plus 1.7, but 24 hours further on, which gets us to the 4th of March. This is when the SSW takes place, and we reverse the solar wind, goes down to minus 1.2 ms, and then go into a very negative solar wind, actually. So 5th of March, we've gone down, if the forecast is right, it's only forecast, only prediction, of course, gone down to minus 6.1, and then look what happens by the time you get through to the 6th of March, day 10, 240 hours, the solar wind is at minus 13.3 ms. That's very negative. So a strong reversal of solar winds predicted to take place there at 10 HPA in the stratosphere. That's got to have an impact, you would have thought, in a couple of weeks' time in terms of northern blocking. So we shall keep you posted. We'll be doing Strat Watch on Wednesday, of course, and we'll have more then. Right, central temperature continuing to lower. We are now sitting at 8.1, which is 4.3 degrees above 61 to 99 average. That's visual to yesterday, to 25th of February. Remember, 7.9 is the all-important number. That is the CET that we had in 1779. So we've only got 0.2 of a degree now to play with. Now I think 1779 probably going to be safe. I think probably, going to come in under 7.9 in the end. What am I doing? 17.9. What are you doing, Gab? That would be high. That'd be high for February, wouldn't it? Goodness gracious me. 17.9 in Australia, maybe, in February, not here. No, 7.9 from 17. This is what I'm trying to do, 1779. That is the highest CET. I think we'll come in under that. We'll probably be somewhere, maybe 7.7. Something like that. And that, of course, will be above any other February other than 1779. So I think we said 1990 at about 7.3 is the highest. So we're going to be above that. We're going to be above 1990. And, whether the Met and whatnot will take into account 1779, not sure. You may well hear that February 2024 has been the warmest February on record, but keep in mind there is 1779 there as well. Anyway, it'll be very interesting to see where we come out with the CET when we get to the end of the week. Right, these are the 500 millibar height anomaly flowcharts from Penn State University. The next week, 10 days, got the ECMWF on the top, the GFS is on the bottom, 500 millibars, 80,000 feet. There's an area in the atmosphere, high pressure and low pressure are being moved around by the jet stream running above. Red extrapolates to above average height, which is high pressure. Blue to below average height, which is low pressure. You can see it in a 7 to 10 day time frame. We've got an area of above average height sitting over and to the east of the country of the ECM, telling us, and low pressure moving out into the Atlantic, telling us that higher pressure is taking over there in the 7 to 10 day time frame. But GFS is much more unsettled, as it often is. Much more towards low pressure in the Atlantic coming in with both westerly winds and the high pressure. It's more of a northern blocking feature, really, and it's up towards Svalbard and whatnot. So that'll be two with GFS, the most unsettled in the 7 to 10 day time frame. So, sorry everybody. Right, okay, section, what I'm talking about, these are the GFS upper air temperature precipitation ensembles. Of course they are. The red line is the, I don't know, red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off below average up moment. We are going to pick up in the upper air temperatures on Thursday. It will turn milder wetter and windier, but I think by then we'll probably be under 7.9 just about. But it still might be a close run thing actually, because that is quite a tick up in the upper air temperatures that are taking place there Wednesday and particularly on Thursday. But after that, it's turning colder at the end of the week, so a little bit of a cold snap coming up for the end of the week and weekend, and then returning close to average as we go from the first week into the second week of March. Couple of days of dry weather, and then from about Thursday onwards it starts turning more unsettled again, with further rainfall spikes as we push on into the first week or two of March. Temperature anomalies coming out around average, maybe ever so slightly below for more northern regions. And precipitation anomalies from 26th February, 5th of March, average or slightly wetter than normal. The latest Windflow Map from nullschool.net shows that we're still drawing in these chilly north or northeasterly winds at the moment. Milder southwesterly winds are waiting to the northwest of Scotland. They'll be pushing southwards when we get through to the middle part of the week. Okay, let's start going through the chart data then. This latest UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Thursday. Low pressure bringing mild, wet and windy weather in from the Atlantic, then keeping it mild through Thursday into Friday. And then as low pressure starts to sink southwards through the country into the weekend, bringing cooler or colder air with it and keeping things rather unsettled as well. By day 10, we've got more low pressure out to our west. We've got some quite chilly air sitting across the country as well. Icon again looking mild, wet, windy for Thursday, and then Friday through to Saturday start turning things cooler as the trough of low pressure sinks down through the country, bringing cooler air southwards with it. Heading up towards the end of the Icon run, areas of low pressure still sitting to our west again, looking rather cool and showery. This is how the KMA is looking, all much of a muchness, with that area of low pressure sinking down into the country through the weekend and keeping going into the beginning of next week. And then it changes as high pressure starts building up from the south. So by the time you're through to the end of the KMA run, which is the 9th of March, we're under quite a big area of high pressure. That's a significant pattern change. That high pressure is trying to go north, might be in response to the SSW. As it is, it's probably bringing quite a pleasant spell of weather back because it has built up from the south. Notice how the heights rise from the south, so should have some relatively mild air with it. Probably enough to get temperature into mid-teens Celsius with the March sunshine. Very, very pleasant conditions. But of course, if that high pressure will start going further north, then we will start putting in colder air from the north and the east. This time the GFS midnight run is looking, again, very unsettled for the last stages of the week and the weekend, with this trough of low pressure sitting around the country, bringing plenty of cool, quite cold and unsettled weather. Moving up toward day 10, higher pressure starts building up from the south, and the GFS also trying to break us out of the unsettled weather there. And actually the high pressure builds quite strongly just beyond day 10. High pressure begins to take over to our east by the 8th of March, putting in probably quite a chilly southeasterly flow from off the continent, but much more settled. However, not for long. Very quickly the high pressure breaks down and low pressure returns from off the Atlantic by the end of the GFS midnight run. GFS V2 again looking cool, perhaps quite cold and unsettled through the end of the week into the weekend. Further areas of low pressure driving in from off the Atlantic to the beginning of next week. Then a higher pressure starts building away across Scandinavia, low pressure out to west. That starts to bring up more of a southerly flow, which could be quite mild and pleasant. And we keep a dual going really between high pressure from the east, low pressure from the west, all the way up to the end of the GFS V2 run, gets to the 13th of March. So generally remain quite unsettled, I think, with both the GFS outputs, except for a short interlude of drier weather, perhaps around days 10 to 12. If you enjoyed the video, please can you like, share and subscribe. It shows everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. It shows everyone for doing that. We need to put on around 80 subscribers to get us out to 18.1k. So if you could give us a sub and tell your friends and family to subscribe, that would be incredible. Thank you so much. Right, the GM is showing low pressure once again dominated weather at the end of the week. And then into the weekend, got this trough sitting drifting around the country, bringing plenty of showers and or longer spells of rain. Further low pressures coming in from off the Atlantic as we move up towards day 10. But by day 10, we do start to see some higher pressure beginning to build to ease low pressure out to the west. So that's drawing up more of a southerly flow. So that should be milder, but will be unsettled. And then we've got the ECM again with low pressure bringing plenty of rain, possibly snow for northern areas at the end of the week and into the weekend. With trough low pressure sitting through the west of Europe through the weekend into the beginning of next week. And then again, high pressure starts building up. And out of all of the model output, the ECM much more strongly towards high pressure by day 10. That is a big ridge, 1,040 millibars. And as it's built up from the south, should have quite a bit of mild air with it. So, yes, I think that could well be enough to get the temperature into the mid-teens Celsius, a taste of spring there by day 10 as that high pressure builds up from the south. That'll be very pleasant. Okay, so this is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from meteo.com. A couple of drier days, but we're back to wet windies again by the end of the week. Plenty of rain pushing through, particularly on Thursday. Further wet weather driving in for Friday, and colder for some of that to be falling as snow in more northern and western regions as well. Into the weekend, wintry showers, particularly in the north and the west. And then we start turning towards high pressure next week. So by day 10, we're about large areas of high pressure. And it is universally dry across the entire country, which I haven't seen much of that over the past few months, have we? Right, so these are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. Gets us to the 7th of March. 19 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure over to the east of the country, low pressures out to the west. And winds are coming up from a southerly southeasterly direction, so it should be very pleasant with that, main dry and pretty mild, you would have thought. 16 more toward low pressure just to our west. High pressure is to the east. That will bring up the wind from more of a southerly direction again. That is a bit more unsettled. And then we've got 16. This will be the coldest option, I suppose, with high pressure more to the north and the northeast. That would probably be bringing a mostly an easterly type wind. So that would be the coldest of the option. But it would depend how much cold air there is to our east. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 12th of March. 21 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure between Iceland and Scandinavia. Around that, we could well be bringing in quite a chilly easterly wind. We've got 12 with high pressure blocking in the North Atlantic and up to Greenland. Low pressure is to our east, and winds with that will be coming in from quite a cold northeasterly direction. That could be quite cold and wintry. 11 with high pressure away to the north, low pressure to the south. That's going to be most unsettled in the south, and very close to an easterly flow there. So that could be cold, it could be mild. Depends exactly how much of a southerly or an easterly influence there is. And then finally we've got 7 here with high pressure centred slightly over to the east of the country. So that would be a drier and pretty mild as well, with winds coming up from the south. A range of options, but we might start turning things colder towards the middle of March. We'll have to wait and see. Right, CFS V2, then we're done. So it's a 500 millibar Height Anomalies, breaking down into weekly periods. The first week period takes from the 26th of February to the 3rd of March. Next week has high pressure to our northeast, low pressure is to our south. So bringing in a wind from like a southeasterly type direction where most unsettled weather would be in the south. Week 2 is going to be the 4th through to the 10th of March. High pressure then builds over to the east. That should be dry and quite mild, maybe even quite warmish with winds coming up from a southerly direction. Week 3 is going to be the 11th to the 17th of March with high pressure again over to the south of the country, low pressure to the northeast. Again, we should have quite a bit of dry and pleasant weather with that. And then week 4 also looking quite anticyclonic. This will be the 18th to the 24th of March. High pressure and just to our southwest, bringing a lot of dry, mild spring-like weather with southwesterly winds. So the CFS is much more towards high pressure today, interestingly. So a significantly drier March than we've had for the past several months. Would still be rain at times, of course, but a significantly drier March compared to previous months. Perhaps an end to the deluge is in sight. We shall see. Right, if we're done. If you enjoyed the video, please you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Why not drop a comment? And let us know what you think about this and all our bits and content. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. 80 subscribers gets us to 18.1k. So if you could give us a sub, that would be incredible and amazing. Thank you so much. Right, just so it's happening on the channel tomorrow. We're going to have the 6 AM UK weather forecast. There's going to be the EC 42-day as well, extended forecast for, well, 30-day forecast, but also extending out to weeks 5 and 6 for Europe, extended European outlook tomorrow, as well as on a Tuesday, and there'll be a 10 to 14-day as well, so please keep checking back to the channel for more. But for this video, and for today's videos, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.